So I have so many random bits and bobs in my fridge and freezer right now that I need to start working through, like ganache and frostings and curds. So I took that as an excuse to make this heart-shaped cake, which I'll reveal at the end. So I started the night before by making this really easy 1-bowl chocolate cake, and then I leveled them off, wrapped them up, and chilled them overnight. I had this raspberry buttercream that I made with freeze-dried raspberries. I thought that would be a good filling since I didn't have enough to cover the whole cake. To make the heart, I cut out a small divot in the top, then shaved off like 1.5 inches off the two sides to make a point. Then I glued those to the top part with more buttercream. To frost the cake, I had this weird leftover chocolate pudding that I had turned into a frosting with a lot of butter and sugar. I don't know, it was just a test, but it worked out great. Then I made a really simple chocolate ganache with some corn syrup for added shine. It's really important to chop your chocolate really finely and allow the cream enough time to really melt the chocolate. I transferred the cake twice using a cake lifter, and I pushed it off using a bench scraper as not to disturb the outside of the cake too much. I've also had luck using 2 spatulas, especially big offset turners or offset spatulas. And then just douse the chilled cake in the ganache. Do this over a wire rack placed on top of a half sheet tray to catch all the drips. Then I transferred it to a cake stand, wiped off the plate, cleaned up the sides a little bit. This is where I wish I had planned a little bit better because I didn't let the cake set totally before going in with decoration. I used more freeze-dried raspberries, which I honestly wish I hadn't used so much because they kind of ruined the sheen and melted into the ganache a bit. But as I always say, sprinkles hide a multitude of sins. The trick to getting really good, clean cross sections is to use a hot knife and wipe it off in between cuts. Honestly, not a bad way to use up leftovers.